Hey, 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 I love it when I get new packages from Amazon. But what the hell is going on at Amazon? Why can't they use a proper size box or close it up right? I was expecting this. This company, I have no idea how to pronounce this. I've seen it online several different which ways. Gobege, Gobege. The question is, will this air compressor be garbage? And for those of y'all interested in the specs, they're printed on the outside of the box. I'll freeze frame it here for you so you can read this stuff. But what I'm looking at is 45 amp maximum current draw, 580 watts of power, output volume, cylinder diameter, air hose length, the weight, if that's of a concern, and we don't care about the measurements, and what's not made in China today. Okay, those of y'all that are fans of my channel, you already know what I feel about unboxing videos. Let's just assume, like we should, common sense people, everything that's in this box that you would expect for a heavy-duty air compressor is included in here. I'm not showing you the owner's manual. I'm not weighing this. I'm not pulling out a tape measure and measuring this. Everything is included that you would want. While I was waiting for this to arrive, I was doing my homework, looking at other people's review videos, and especially other people's comments. So one thing I was noticing and reading in other people's comments, previous models had a push button here to release air, and I think even some of the previous models had a proprietary hose that you could only use with this. Much like my shitty built, this you've got to use their air hose, and it's very difficult to change fittings to use your standard air hoses and air tubes that you've got at home. The pressure gauge on here, I'm going to say it's identical to the shitty built. But that's really all the comparisons that I'm interested in. Another thing that I'd seen on some other videos and comments, people were buying an adapter because the part that goes on the valve stem screws on. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem screwing it on. You got to screw your valve cap on, right? But they were buying these little things online which screw in here and have a quick connect. And lo and behold, this company is listening to other people's reviews. So this is a quick connect connector, if that's what you like, and it comes with it, which is nice. But neither of these have a pss, 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 pss thing for releasing air pressure. But I got a feeling I can let out air pressure with just this, which will be convenient. The hose that goes on here, this is your standard, I'm gonna call it your standard American quick connect. But watch this. This is mine that I use for airing up my, or what I have been using for airing my stuff up. Milton. This was the stuff that was the professional tire changers, and you would find this at the gas stations at the back when air was free. So this is a quality, expensive unit. I'll have a link to that in the description, as you know. One thing I've noticed, doesn't quite work that way. This has a male connect on there. You can change that out to a female connect and use your hoses that you've got at home. So most of us Americans, we've got air hoses much like this, male to female. female is usually on the air compressor. Okay, so for me to use my male to female hose, which I think just everybody's got one in their garage somewheres, if not in their truck, male to female, on my filler upper, I would have to change either this one or this one to a female. No big deal. I think I've even got spare parts for that in my cabinet. For the sake of this review, I'm going to use everything that was supplied with us here, which means the hose, very soft, very pliable. Remember, we're in my garage in northern Utah at 7,000 feet, and it is 40 degrees right now. The power cord on here is a thicker gauge than what was on the shitty built. The clamps are copper looking, appear to be good and strong. And it looks like we got 8 feet of cable without measuring it. For today's testing, I'm going to be doing it on the spare LT265/75R16. This is your stock size that comes with it. Actually, this is the original spare that came on here that I have got about maybe 20 miles on it. And I'm going to screw this thread on here. I remember on my shitty built compressor, there's about a 5-pound difference in the pressure reading of this from when you had the compressor on to when you didn't. And right now it says I'm at about 42, is that right? 25, 35. I'm gonna call that 42. And for another comparison, I'm gonna use this, which goes up to 120 pounds per square inch. And this says we're at about 40. Now here's what I want to know. This thing here, will that let the air out? Okay. There's my air down tool. I like that. So this is going to let air out pretty fast. I like this already. Let's go to 0. One finger, little finger, and I'm stopping the air. So I'm gonna call it right here at basically being a flat tire that we just repaired a hole in and we gotta air it back up. I don't have a problem screwing this in. Look how long that took me. Basically, it's the same amount of time as it would take to put this on and get it properly lined up and crimped down. So I'm gonna leave this off for now for the test. It shows us at 0 pounds per square inch. Here's our compressor. Line installed. Has an on and off switch. And it's got a circuit breaker if this overheats. Because this thing pulls 45 amps, there is no cigarette lighter adapter. This goes straight to the battery. And let's go. All right, so that is to 40 pounds. And from what I can remember, these things will read about 5 pounds high while the compressor's running, and then when you turn it off, it will drop back down. So let's go to 45. All right, it looks like 45. looks like, I'm gonna call it 42-ish. And that looks like it says, what do you think? Looks like 38. Now, I don't know about you, but I have found discrepancies in all of my air gauges compared to each other. It's rather frustrating. It took 6 minutes and 20 seconds from 0 pounds of pressure. Okay, because I don't do unboxing, we got some more time. And I can read your I can hear you commenting already. How long does it take to go from off-road tire pressure to driving home highway pressure? The lowest I ever go, in my 33s of course, is 20 pounds. To me, going below 20 is rock crawling. 25 minimum is where you need to be for really rough washboard roads. Like if you're going out to Death Valley, you got 2 hours of washboards that are just brutal. So let's drop this down to 20 according to this, and let's air it back up to 40. And let's time that. I really like that. That's going to come in really handy compared to how I've been airing down. I'm going to call that 20 pounds. For this comparison test, let's put on our quick connect connector. So 3 to 4 pounds difference between air gauges, I guess you'd say. All right, let's go time this again. Start. Okay, I was looking for this to go to 42 and a half, and now it's dropped back down to about 39. For me, that's close enough. 2 minutes and 21 seconds. This says I am at 35. See what I mean? It's just so frustrating. All air pressure gauges are different. My thoughts on the air compressor. I like it. It's definitely faster than what I remember my shitty built being. 221, let's say you need to go up a few more pounds, under 3 minutes to air up from off-road pressure to highway pressure. That's good. The volume of the noise from the compressor, I thought was rather quiet compared to what I remember the Smitty built being. As you can see, it is lukewarm, but then I'm at 40 degrees. I like it. I would recommend this air compressor without a problem if that's what you're looking for. 3 minutes, give or take a little bit, to go from 20 to 40, depending on what your highway air pressure is or depending on what your pressure is. The level of the noise from that was quiet. And now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Oh, you've aired up 2 tires now without leaving the engine running. Let me tell you something, buddy. Idling an engine just pollutes the world. You know me, I'm not a climate activist. I'm not a New Green Deal guy, but I am common sense. Why do we need to be putting emissions into the air when we don't need to be? I'm anti-idling your car for anything. Turn it off. Engineering Explained did a video and he proved that the average is 7 seconds. That's how much gas it takes to start up your engine from off to on. Any idling over 7 seconds, you're polluting, and that's just ugly and bad for the environment, regardless of all this new Green Deal bullshit. All right, so now I know what you're saying. 2 tires you've aired up with the engine off, you just killed your battery. Well, I got news for you. My battery on my GoPro is at 17%, and watch this. I hear a beep. All right, so there you go. Engine started up without chugging or having a problem. Do not pollute the environment. That's all I'm saying. It's not good. I'm waiting on an email reply from the company on the proper way to pronounce this. It's pronounced Gobege. Gobege. This is not garbage. And that's what really matters. Go buy one. See ya. All right, man. Thanks for sticking around this long to the end of the video. I got a little bonus for you, and I'm going to start doing this on a lot of my videos. So check it out. Student loan relief is a bogus bullshit diversion. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. Nancy Pelosi, the master manipulator of government, of everyone, is on record saying that the president does not have that right, does not have the privilege. It has to come from Congress, which means House of Representatives and the Senate. Why are they doing this anyways? Well, what the Democratic Party is doing is they're setting up young college student of voting age for disappointments. Expectations begets disappointment. The way to avoid disappointment is to lower your expectations. But the Democrats figure it the other way. Let's get our voter base pissed off. Dangle the carrot in front of them. $10,000, $20,000 for Pell Grants that we're going to give you back free or credit you back, or you're not going to have to pay back. And then when it doesn't happen, now you got a lot of college students who, the reason they're in college is because they're not too smart to begin with. Let's get them pissed off. So now that we got them pissed off and we've got them registered online on the Student Loan Relief website, we've got all their information. Now we as Democrats can contact them and let them know that because they're pissed off and the GOP canceled their free shit, let's vote not for the Democrats, but let's vote against the conservative Republicans. It's a pretty ingenious plan, I must admit. Those of us conservative Republicans, let's just laugh this off. It's never going to happen. And those of you ignorant Democrats, wake up, you woke motherfuckers.